Hello everyone, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, we're a gaming group up in Westchester, Pennsylvania. If you're in the area, please do me a favor, reach out to us. There's several of us ranging from here, Philadelphia, Delaware. I even know the group out in Baltimore and
DC area?
No, not DC area.
Which one?
Titan Games.
Titan Games?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Titan Games.
Yeah, I actually know the group out there.
Yep.
We were supposed to have a grudge match, but that just didn't happen. So
Life is a thing.
Life is a thing. So if you listen to my last battle report, which will be posted at probably the same time as this, I've had a lot going on in my life, which is why we've been quiet on the channel. But one of the big things is I have still been playing, but I've been also playtesting, and I can't post those games. However, in a few months, come August, we will be getting back up to our normal production amount because we will have new places to play because I'm moving. Again, you'll hear everything from the last video. So today we're going to turn around and we're getting ready for Buckeyes.
Right.
And today I have Phil Carl.
Hi, Internet.
And we are trying to turn around. We've already submitted the list. Now it's turn around, playing with our list, trying to see what works against different armies and things like that.
And turn around my list did. Yes, it did.
That's a little foreshadow. Actually, it got bloody real quick. So
one side.
You're not helping me here. So those of you who've watched my other battle reports for about the last year knows that I've been playing my dwarves. My first love has always been Equitane, and it's just I haven't been able to get them to work the way I like to get them to work because when I play that army, I'm not infantry heavy. So but my dwarves, the dwarves I play, like I used to play my old Equitane. So here we are, 4,500 points of Sylvan Elves versus Dwarven Holds, and we're going Buckeyes. I think the first game is hidden deployment, right?
First game is hidden deployment, where we can't see crap. That's right. We don't get to look. You get to put your stuff down, and if you're in both in opposite corners, well, then you're in opposite corners. I've seen it happen a lot.
Oh my god, yes. And as a dwarf player, that's the last thing I ever want to do. So what you're going to see here is I let Phil has more experience than I do in terms of going to tournaments. I'm not saying he has more play experience than I do.
Probably not.
But I had that stint when it was the company that shall never be named again. I just met a bad type of player there. So I stopped going to tournaments. So here we are with hidden deployment. And this is the way I deployed. And this is the way he deployed. So what I'm going to ask is, first off, you can't even see half the board here. And you'll see it, actually, here's the entire picture of the entire board. So you see where Phil's army is literally between the hill and the castle, or the building there, and that one picturesque bluish looking four corner things, that's the forest that
I have. It's a work in progress.
It's a
work in progress. The other one destroyed itself at this point. It's made of foam. It doesn't last. I'm going to chip. I'm going to brown. Screw it. I'll just make one out of wood.
Then that's the way to do it.
Yeah, it's thematic.
Absolutely. And first off, I do want to give him Matt props. We went down to Brawlers. He actually took a good. He took best dwarf because of his painting skills. He really is fantastic, almost a maestro when it comes to the airbrushing and things like that, and he knows so many techniques. So this is his, of course, forest army, and I love the dragon, which is being used as a Treeman Ancient?
Avatar of Nature.
Avatar of Nature?
Avatar of Nature.
So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to let him briefly say your list, and I'd like to know why you deployed the way you did.
Okay, so this is the way I 98% of the time deploy anyway. Actually, I don't usually put a treeman in between the treekin and the dryads, but we have two tree men, who are the lovely ladies. We have my avatar, who is the giant dragon. We have 2 units of 25-ish dryads, 24 dryads with matriarchs on life, and 2 eagles, who are there to serve themselves as fried chicken when needed. We have 2 Thicket Beast heroes, 5 normal Thicket Beasts. Their names are literally Sanders and Popeye, okay? They're literally named Sanders and Popeye.
Only if you name your avatar Colonel.
No, his name's Fangorn because I'm a Tolkien nerd. But regardless, Sanders is the eagle. No, Popeye is the eagle. Sanders is the owl, and they literally do nothing but die if they've lived for any amount of time, I've done something incredibly wrong or incredibly right.
The one lived almost the entire game.
What do you think? Incredibly wrong. I rest my case on that.
All right. So now, why did you deploy in the middle the way you did?
Well, because I figured if you're in a corner one way or another, I can walk to you. Other than that, though, it's just basically this Treekin are a very solid center line. The Dryads are good, usually have steadfast for the most part on the flanks, and giant trees sprinkled throughout to thunderstomp infantry-based dwarfs, if it gets to that.
Fair enough.
Flaming organ guns.
So let me go back to my list. So if you notice, so again, I'm missing part of the board off to the right of the water. And I have my vanguarding unit with great weapons. I've got an organ gun. I've got my guild-crafted handgunners with my engineer that's got his forged repeater, which I keep meaning to take out of my list. My flaming organ gun. Both of them have the +1 to wound. My 19 Deep Watch with my king and my runic smith. I have 24 spears with my BSB. I have floating around somewhere 2 juniors, which are vengeance seekers, but I will call them juniors, and another unit of 10 warriors with hand weapon shield. So the reason I deployed this way is, first, I remember there being a building, okay, and that building can turn around and divide the entire board, and monsters can't go through the building. Monsters infantry can, but monsters can't, and because I remembered 3 distinct monsters in your list, I'm like, you're probably not going to mess with that building.
No. Thought about it, but no.
And the way my list is I want to reach out and touch you. I am not a sit back and shoot you. I don't have enough shooting in this list.
He touched me, all right, folks. He touched me.
It was a good touch.
No, it was not a good touch. The beards were there in uncontrollable places.
That's a little foreshadowing. So that's a reason why I did what I did. And here's the way the board looks. So I turned around, I vanguarded, I got that one unit out of the forest, and end of the day, end result is we do a straight dice roll off.
Yeah.
And whoever wins gets to go first, and the secondary objective is hold the center, which is the other reason why I deployed the way I did, because I need my big hard-hitting units to hold that center, and I didn't think you had enough to be able to flank me.
Not unless I got everything exactly where I wanted it to go, and it was not happening.
Yeah. So he ended up getting turn 1.
Yep.
And this is what he was able to do with turn 1.
Run forward, trees! That's all we did. We just ran forward.
Yep. No charges. I won't lie. I was hoping you did that charge. I was going to flee.
I knew you were going to flee. You're not an honorable dwarf. They don't take the Slayer oath thing.
Hell no. Tactics.
I thought about it. I'm like, no, he's going to flee. They're not going to move up. At least this way I'll charge them and run them around later.
You absolutely. He really did. He sat there like, do I charge? Do I not charge? Do I not charge? Do I not charge? I'm not charging. I think that was your exact...
Pretty much, yeah. It took me all of 0.5 seconds to walk myself through that. I'm like, nope, Mark, nope, he runs. Nope, never mind, okay.
Yeah. And otherwise, everything else, of course, was too far away because he's only speed 5 across the board.
We're a hardy speed.
Okay.
Hardy speed 5.
So here we are. And one thing to note that I'm going to go back 2 picks. You can't even see him in this picture because of your big critter there. All right, in the big gray thing, which we're calling ruins, I actually have a unit of 5 rangers, which...
Yep, those rangers. Those rangers.
Which he chose to ignore.
You
ignored them.
Strong feelings about those rangers at this point. There's 5 of them.
He ignored them.
It's not worth aggravating myself.
Dwarves, turn 1. Here's the beginning of my movement. So I turn around, and I chaff up the unit of Dryads using the warriors with great weapons on the far side. I move up the 2 juniors, okay, to turn around and chaff up as well. And I still moved up the spears, and I moved up the king's unit, the Deep Watch. And I backed up the warriors on the right because I didn't want his 1 treeman charging around, because you could have wheeled and charged that unit. And I didn't want to give you free points and give you a flank at that point. And that was it. The reason why I didn't turn around and chaff up the big guy in the middle is I wanted him to charge. That was my line of thinking. Is I figure I was going to be able to do a couple wounds to him
and then charge.
And
I'm fine with a couple of wounds because I can usually heal 1 or 2 of them back. So if you do 3-4 wounds, I heal back. I've still got 4 wounds left. Yep. I issue a challenge, so either a champion dies or the king accepts, and we get into a massive pillow fight for 10 turns.
But then it's advantage me.
Yes.
Because I have the ranks and everything else.
Yeah, but stubborn 9 rerollable? I mean, I'm willing to take that issue. I'm willing to take that chance.
I understand that, but then again, it's... So, the thing is we would then be wailing on each other, hitting each other, doing wounds here or there. Nothing huge or drastic, but that was my game plan, and it would have, because of the runic banner I have on them, probably would have only been him. I wasn't worried for 2 rounds for any help, and the way that unit was, if you had turned around and issued a challenge, and I could have flanked you with my BSB, and then got the BSB into combat.
The only problem with that was, and you'll see why this didn't turn out in later turns, folks, I still had 2 eagles, so that unit was not going to get there for several turns.
I understand that, but that was my line of thinking.
It was a good line of thinking.
So again, the reason for that line of thinking is you had a very aggressive army. Yeah. You didn't have a way to turn around and pick me off.
No.
So that was basically it. But during my during my magic phase, I believe I got 1 or 2 spells off, nothing of note that occur. However, during the shooting phase, if you notice, something's missing.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, flaming organ guns, folks.
So the 1 organ gun did...
Oh, 1 organ gun itself did 4 wounds because he hit 7 times and then wounded 7 times.
Then I had the handgunners.
Handgunners get the last wound off.
Yep.
No, like everyone else, like your other organ gun... No, the flame organ did 3 wounds. Your other organ
saved them.
I saved 4 of them. The other organ gun did a wound. The handgunner did a wound. And the engineer did a wound.
So, end of the day, that's what did that. So now, it is his turn 2.
Welcome to Up the Creek.
And that is a better picture. I'm going to lower that so we'll all see it.
Okay.
Better picture of that. And here's his turn 2. I can't blow out the picture any larger, so why don't you tell me what's going on here?
Well, essentially, it's basically getting ready to try and countercharge the King's unit, and I think I charged the unit of Dwarf Chaff in the corner with the other Dryads who are behind trees, or there's trees in the trees, I can't tell.
No, they're there.
Oh, there's a tree behind the tree in the trees. Next to the trees.
Yeah, you took those trees and put them back behind the hill. No, that's your tree man.
Oh, that's Unifil. Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
That's Unifil.
So I charged the tree men into the Vengeance Seekers because we'll pop them, use the Eagles as chaff, thinking to myself, okay, well, if that works out, then I can just have a charge with Treekin and a Tree Father into the unit of Dwarfs in a turn. And the Dryads can support if he wants to overrun super far, long ways. And the other Tree Father on the far side, I'm like, well, when that kills that Tree Father is going to become chaff because I can't let Flaming Spears get into the flank of things without my Thunderstomps hopefully Thunderstomping some Deep Watch down first. That was the theory.
No, I think it's a very
sound theory.
It was a very sound theory.
But let me tell you about these 6-up ward saves that Mark makes like they're 2-ups. For no reason. And you know what? It was okay. It was okay because for this turn, not only did the Vengeance Seeker on, I guess, the right of this picture, died a terrible death.
I think he did 2 or 3 wounds, though.
No, he did not. He did no.
No, he did 2 or 3 wounds.
He did 2 wounds. He did 3 wounds, which was okay. Tree Father becoming chaff, totally fine with that.
Yep.
The other guy, needing 6s, he's like, oh no, I'm going to live this turn, make a couple 6-up saves. He has 2 wounds. It's unbreakable. I'm stuck there. I'm like, okay, he can't shoot me this turn. That works out great. I can just charge on my turn. Or my next turn, I don't get shot for a turn. Wait, no, that one over there on the right didn't take any wounds. You shot wounds on it. That was the organ gun shot wounds on it. Okay. You had nothing else to shoot at that point.
Yeah, you're right. And I have nothing else to add to that.
You'll find out soon, folks.
So he does turn around. He gets a spell, which was a -1 to -1 ballistic skill.
Yep, -1 ballistic skill.
All right, so that's
hindsight should have done that first turn.
So it makes it ballistic skill 2. And over here for this combat, oh no, You got that all for the miscast.
I miscast. And Dryads died. They die. It happens.
Yep.
We'll put some fertilizer. It'll be back to you in no time.
And let's see here. Over here. No, he did do a wound. See?
Oh, he did do one wound. Oh, that's right. He only got 2 wounds with the organ gun.
But he turned around and he ate Junior. And
no, we tap danced on Junior.
Meanwhile, Junior's sitting there with 2 wounds on him. It's -1 to hit. So you needed 5s to hit me.
2 hits, 2 wounds, 2 6s.
No, 1 wound got through there. 1 wound got through on the stops.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, no, 1 wound should have gotten through on the stops, folks. But again, those 6-ups like 2-ups. Like 2-ups.
So
that threw all my plan to hell.
So this was my turn, and I actually debated, and I actually declared it, and then I took it back. Was charging the flank of the tree tree father there, because I'm sitting there, I'm going, you know what? If I do that, I've got all this combat res, but he's stubborn 8, rerollable, but he's going to tie him up for a turn, help save my king's unit for a turn, or I can just chaff him up. And meanwhile, against the warriors, we bounce. I think I made my my leadership save.
Yeah, you made
my
your
leadership check. So I'm like, it's just isn't worth it there. And the reason why they're set up the way they are is because I had the engineer in there, who then ran up and he's chaffing up his what are they called now?
Thicket beasts.
Thicket beasts.
Yep.
So that he can't wheel around that and be able to get in any other unit. And I did try to charge the rear. I believe that was a rear.
It was the rear
of the one unit
of Dryads.
Of Dryads.
You failed.
Yep. And that's basically it. Otherwise, this is my turn here. I forgot to do my dice. I charged in with the spears and the deep watch into the 2 respective eagles. I failed to charge with the rangers. And that's it. And meanwhile, Junior is still sitting there.
Yep. And he will be sitting there. And sitting there.
So the one bird dies. The other bird I let run away from the spears.
I was hoping he'd just kill the bird. He didn't want fried chicken.
That's,
you're a KFC fan. You want Sanders instead of Popeye.
It wasn't kosher.
I even know those are fresh-bred eagles, bred for the sole purpose of dying for my causes.
It's not for Passover. So anyway, you've got that tree man there. So that's why I didn't pursue with the spears. I expected a number of wounds just to kill him out, but even still, didn't do that. And I didn't want to give you my flank. I wanted to be able to turn around and...
Oh, no, I would have taken a flank in a heartbeat, but yeah, no.
Yep.
No flank.
So that was that. And I did try to overrun. No, I chose not to overrun with the Deep Watch either, even though I made that charge because...
You already chaffed your engineer at that point, too.
Yep. I already had that engineer chaffed. And meanwhile, I think we already decided that the Tree Father was still stuck in combat at that point. I didn't want to overrun and get charged by everything.
Yep, no. It was a good play. And this is where... I made a mistake because I should have charged at this point my Dryads into the spears because I would have had a charge, you would have had banners, but I just would have hopefully had enough combos just to hold for a while because I'm striking first and you're not strength 4 if you don't charge me, so you're wounding me less.
But then you would have been opening yourself up.
No, because these Deep Watch couldn't have wheeled past the Thicket Beast at that point.
They could have. In which case, in
that case, though, she just chaffs them up.
What you couldn't see, what we were pointing to, as I pointed to the unit on the right, being the unit with hand weapon shields, would have then charged in. I still would have liked the odds with the spears.
I mean, they would have been good odds. I would have just tied them up for a while,
enough.
And that's all I really wanted. That's all I really should have done with them.
Fair enough. So let's see. That's it. That's all I got. So this is actually his turn. So this is where you finally...
and we tried... Nope, wait. We also tried... Because you'll notice his handgunners are running away.
He did
charge.
charge
them with the Dryads, and Mark said, no, thank you, and ran through his organ gun. I redirected to another organ gun. Wouldn't you know? Failed my charge. You'll see a reoccurring comment here with this.
It was a long charge.
It was not that long. It was an 8.
It's above average.
Not that much above average.
Fair enough.
But still. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Finally, in his combat phase, he turned around and
we stomped on Junior before Junior did 3 wounds to me. That's the one where he did through. Like, he went out with a bang. He took no wounds the first round, but no. He went out swinging. Because a 5-up's just not good enough.
So again, this was his turn 3.
Yep.
And that's just a very, very bad picture.
What the hell is going on there?
I don't know. So now it's Dwarf's turn 3.
All right.
So this is already into combat. I completely forgot that the unit on the right, the spears, had rerolls to wound. Completely forgot.
Granted, his BSB whiffed tremendously. He did. He used 2s, and he rolled 2 1s to hit. And then
was that it, or you saved him?
No, I saved the 1 wound you got through with the BSB strength 10.
All right. And then the spears just,
They did
a few.
He got a couple hits. He got 1 wound, and he forgot to reroll the rest of the spears.
Yep. So, oh well, c'est la vie. Meanwhile, the engineer did his job. He didn't die. He didn't run away.
Bitch didn't die.
Because all my models, with the exception of 1 unit, has shields. Actually, that's excluding the juniors and the war machines.
All my models can't hit the broadside of a barn.
And no arguments here regarding the broadside of a barn. So I charge him with the King's unit, and it's stubborn. The Thicket Beasts are stubborn with those characters. I just chose to ignore the characters.
Yeah, which is the smart play to do.
Yeah. How many wounds do they have each?
They're 3 wounds each. So I mean, it takes.
I could have done it with the King.
With the characters or the unit?
King.
Wait, what is the King doing now?
King has great weapon strength 7 on the charge. Strength 6
he could have killed. Well, no, because they still have 5-up wards there. So odds are you go through
I've
one
got
character.
four strength 5 on the charge.
Okay, so one character dies, and then probably one lasts, and then another one lasts after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he could have got through him, but it's smarter just to focus on the unit.
Which is what I ended up doing. I just end up pulverizing the unit. I do get the spell off of -1 to wound, which I think you're kicking yourself that I was able to get that one off.
I couldn't stop them all. He had 6 dice again. I don't think Mark rolled consistently 6 dice, 4 and 2 for the entire game. Literally, the entire game was a 4-2 split. So every one of Mark's games, he casts 3 spells on 2 dice, and besides with these ones, the first one you failed one of them, and then everything else I had to let one go.
Yeah.
You only got 1 spell through, but I had to let the other ones go.
Yep. And that was that. Let's see here. And the Rangers made it into the flank of the big unit of Dryads.
Yep.
And that was it. So yeah, no, I got nothing else.
Yep.
I ended up either winning. I think I won that first round of combat.
You lost by 3.
Did I lose by 3?
Yeah, because there were 3.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep, there were 3 wonderful Rangers and 5 wonderful Rangers. 3 of them just died and
one
gave
died
up.
due to
No one died for Dangerous Terrain.
Yeah, I lost 1 to DTs.
Nope. There were 3 dead. 1 died in later turns, and then there was that one special Ranger, that one special friend.
So anyway, I ended up charging that flank there, and that's all I have. I rallied everything, so nothing is currently fleeing. And I figure he's going to kill my Rangers, so I turn around and chap him up. I figure my spears, now that I remember they have Flaming Standard, is going to make mincemeat now out of his tree man there. And that's it. His turn, he does a reform. I have 2 models left. So now it's his turn 4. And that one bird that got away
came back
and is now in my organ gun. And I'm going, crap.
We've stopped the flaming shots. The problem is the flaming shots have no more use because everything else is not flammable.
Exactly.
Or at least not that's in a fight now.
Yeah, my mistake was actually the way I positioned my fleeing unit. I positioned them so they could start shooting, but I should have positioned them so they could shoot or charge.
The birdie.
That was my mistake.
The other thing that happened was the Dryads tried for a flank charge, needing a 4. Rolling a 3. Rolling a 3.
I sense a little bitterness.
Just, one simple thing they had to do.
My warriors failed too.
They needed a 6, not a
So there's that.
Stupid Dryads. The Dryads need to get into the flank to at least peel more guys off and just hold them there, in all honesty.
So getting back to this combat, I have one model left, and I make my break test.
Yep, and we reform to face whatever is coming our way because we'll give him the flank back as long as we don't have to take everything else in our flank.
The Tree Father dies this turn.
She does.
I kill another couple of
kill like one
thicket beasts.
You kill like 1.5 thicket beasts, I think. Yeah, there were 2 left after this, but then spears in the flank.
Yep.
Spoiler alert: spears in the flank.
So there's that. So now it's Dwarves turn 4. So unfortunately, I didn't take a picture of the combat.
Oh no, the Treekin died. They died.
Spears with character with the BSB going right into the flank. You had one character left that
had to stomp, and you'll notice the fact that he's lost 2 models. Why? Because again, broadside of the barn for
I've
these
lost
Treekin.
more than 2 models to that unit.
You've lost more than 2 models, just not this turn. Because when chips are down, my Treekin say, meh.
So here's the thing. Here's the way to properly play this, and I really wish I had a picture of it. Is he had corner to corner, he had to slide it over, so it's touching the spears and it's touching the deep watch.
Right.
Because you have to keep both units in combat. Then you flee. So you move the unit to where it flees to.
Right.
So, or you mark the point.
Yep.
To where it ends up. And then your overrun isn't in that direction, it's towards where it
ends
goes.
up. It's always towards where the point your unit ends up. A lot of people don't play that wrong. They think it's just straight away from the biggest unit, which is not the case, which offers some interesting angles on charges. The problem was I needed 1 less guy, so he couldn't say, run from the deep watch. But again, he had his barn paint on, that's all. And my Treekin just was like, I don't want to hit it. Don't want to hit it.
It was pretty paint.
It was very pretty. Shiny, metallic.
Yes.
The glare from the armor.
So now here we are. It is now the Sylvan Elves turn 5.
Oh man, if you haven't talked, Sylvan Elves are looking grim, folks.
So he charges into the 1 war machine with your Dryads.
Yep.
Because I failed to make a 6-inch charge.
Yep.
All right. So again, I failed too, but I did learn from my last mistake because I saw what was going to happen, and I positioned the handgunners in a manner. I just simply reformed them so that they could charge whatever at that point in time. Whether it be if he didn't make it in with the Dryads, once again, I could have charged the bird and just kind of gone from there.
Well, the Dryads had an auto in charge, at least on the bright side.
I wasn't.
See, I didn't have to roll for the charge. That's the only reason I made it.
He only put 4 wounds on the war machine. He failed to kill it outright.
Yep.
And up above, I think you got another miscast off this turn.
Yep. To heal back the Dryads just to make sure they had ranks.
Yep.
The other Dryads, not the Dryads that are constantly dying to miscasts.
So he heals the Dryads on the upper right-hand corner. That still, I don't think you can really see him very well, but he still has a ranger in the flank.
That one little bastard. That one little bastard.
And
so I couldn't reform because of that little bastard.
Alright, so now it's Dwarves turn 4. My warriors actually make my dangerous terrain test because going against Sylvan Elves is all far has become dangerous terrain 1.
Unless you have Strider, and he's a dwarf, so he does not stride.
Nope, and I did not take that banner. I had the handgunners go into the front. I had that extra unit of warriors go into the front. And that was it. Otherwise, I think I just reformed my Deep Watch and started casting some spells. I got -1 to hit.
It was -1 to hit on the handgunners. Yeah.
Yep, which I don't think you cared about.
No, they were going to break that unit anyway. I wasn't expecting the flank charge because you needed a 9 on that.
Yeah, and I rolled either
11. You rolled 11.
Okay.
You rolled 11. He's like, no, we're coming back. You'll notice the Dryads aren't there. Why are the Dryads there? Again, apparently, word got out, barn paint is a thing, and I could not hit anything. The warriors to the side? No. Dryads to the front? No. Didn't do a single freaking wound at all? Nope.
The dwarf that died was from a dangerous terrain test.
Yep.
So, but meanwhile, that one lone eagle has put 2 wounds on that war machine.
Had a wound healed back, and then dies.
Alright, I wasn't getting there yet.
Well,
I still had that one war machine tied up.
What did you have to shoot except the eagle that you're fighting? Don't worry, they ate well. Popeye, they had Popeyes for dinner. It was delicious.
Over here, he kills only 2 more dwarves, so the spears are looking kind of ragged.
The spears are very rare at this point. I'm hoping maybe I can just get points off some of the spears, but eventually I know because I played my Dryads enough, they're going to fail their stubborn 9 check at any moment.
Well, you do it enough times, you're bound to fail.
No, you see, you don't understand. This is like clockwork. As soon as everything else is gone, they're like, nope, we give up. Just let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home to the forest. They were home in the forest. They didn't need to go anywhere.
And meanwhile, they had reroll 1s to wound.
Yep. I mean, they held up enough, and you didn't do a lot of wounds.
I was doing enough to win combat.
Yeah, but that's about it. Just enough to bear. Well, no, actually, the last round of combat, you won by 1 because of the BSB and the 2 banners.
Yep.
And I rolled that 10. Ran 4 inches.
So, the last turn, the crew finally, after how many rounds of combat?
Eagle stuck there for probably 4 or 5 rounds of combat.
So finally, I did 2 wounds. Before I needed 1 wound, I couldn't even do that. I did the 2 wounds. So now it's again Sylvan Elves turn 6. Here's the fight. He kills 1 dwarf, and they break. Everything pursues. I get at least 1 9, so we didn't bother. The 1 ranger survives. I did his DT.
That mother.
And meanwhile, that was that. So it ends up being a Dwarven victor. I mean, I tabled poor Phil, but I think it was a great game. It was a fun game.
It was a good game. I mean, honestly, it depends on what round in the tournament if we were playing, because if it's like round 4, I'm not freaking fighting you. I'm hiding in a corner, and I'm hiding out of the range of those organ guns. At least until you move them up.
Yeah.
You'll move them up. I'm just going to be all the way back.
Well,
there.
turn 4, I'm also seeing where you're deployed. So we're talking a different game. This was hidden deployment.
Round 1, I still would have charged at him.
Yep.
Hope for slightly better odds.
So again, I mean, if this was game 1, obviously I'm getting propelled up, which is good and bad at times. Mm-hmm. And again, we squared off. And you did exactly what you should do with this army.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, the whole thing is I just needed my general to live, because I would have thrown 5 dice just trying to heal 2 wounds on him. Mm-hmm. And then a 3 wound, toughness 6, strength 7 general against your guy. I mean, you're going to win, but you're going to be stuck there for a turn. And it gives me a chance, not a great chance with the 6 up, 2 up ward saves. I'm just saying, I don't know which is which way he rolls. But I would have had a tree mother in the flank, in the unit of Deep Watch as well. And they don't get those bloody 5-up ward saves against tap dances. Thunderstomps, folks. Thunderstomps.
All right. So, for our MVPs, we picked the Dryads.
The Dryads were hands down my best unit. They held the spears there for
the spears, the Rangers, and the Warriors.
Yeah. They did what they were supposed to. They were in a forest. They didn't want to leave until everything else left. And then they were like, we're going home.
Yep. They're like, screw guys, I'm going home. And meanwhile, yeah, the Lone Ranger. To me, that Lone Ranger was MVP.
Couldn't reform, couldn't do shit.
Nope.
Tried so hard.
I made a leadership 6.
Well, you had a reroll, so I mean, there was a good chance you make leadership 6. Leadership 5 was the one round you should have broke. You had a leadership 5 and you rolled double 1s.
Yep. And so, again, that is the MVP of the game.
Screw that guy. I have a beer at Buckeyes for anyone that kills all his Rangers. I don't care.
Oh my God, they'll die all 5 games.
I don't care. I wanted to... you must show a proof of death. I want the head of that dwarf. It must be that one in particular. If you can't tell, he's the Lone Ranger. I'm going to sneakily paint a black mask on him when Mark's not looking.
So, anyway, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please definitely go ahead and post. I'll respond to you as quickly as humanly possible. And that's it. Until next time, happy gaming!